from your previous question papers, and we will see what are the changes made in the sentences, either to change. The question will be asked to change a direct sentence.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for this. Can you please switch on the record option?
Yeah, yes, I've already. 1 second.
It's recording. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, good. So sorry for this. Yeah, you continue, please.
I just turned it on. Okay, so what I'm doing today is we will see certain examples of direct and indirect type of sentences, and we will discuss the changes, the common rules behind changing a direct sentence into an indirect sentence and vice versa. Okay, so that is the plan today. And all of you, I welcome all of you again. Some people have joined right now, so I welcome all of you. So before we begin, I request all of you to keep your audio on mute, so that we can go without disruptions here. So if you want to speak, I'll give you time, and you can unmute yourself and ask questions or share something if you have something. Otherwise, keep your audio on mute, please. All right. So let's begin. I'll share my screen for the initial part of this lecture. Just a moment. Please tell me you can see my. Okay, I hope you are able to see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah, okay. So let's go to direct and indirect speech. So one more announcement before we begin. Please don't feel either too confident or too, not confident. Because we are starting from the scratch. All your queries and all your necessities related to attending this examination, this ATC examination, will be dealt here thoroughly and in depth. So if you feel insecure or if you feel overconfident, please adjust yourself a little bit, and we'll have some 10 sessions throughout this course, throughout these 3 months, and we will see each and every topic clearly and in depth with the adequate activities, that means exercises to do. Okay, so with those opening remarks, I am going to dive into our topic today, and you will be asked to write you'll be asked 20 questions from general English. Out of your 120 marks, 20 marks are allotted or dedicated to general English. So no matter from what background you come from, you are supposed to answer these 20 questions correctly. That is my personal request to you, and our institute is trying to make you not lose a single mark. So in English also, you will have to give some time to learn this, and hopefully you all get good marks, and I wish you all the success for the upcoming examination. Okay, so here you can see my screen. There is a sentence. I'll read it for you. She told me that when she heard that she had won the poetry recitation competition the previous day, she had jumped with joy. So this is an indirect question. This is asked. This is a question I have taken from one of the previous question papers, previous year's question papers asked for ATC examination. So the question is, this sentence is given and you are asked to write. You are supposed to write. This is in indirect format now, and you are supposed to write the direct sentence of this. Okay, so let us see the answer. You can guess. I'll give you a few seconds. You can guess the answer. If you are keeping a note with you, you can even try writing down the correct answer according to your knowledge or your guess. You can guess the answer, and in a couple of seconds, I'm going to turn this page where you can also see the answer. All right. So I hope some of you have already worked this out, and let us see the answer here. So the question is here given, indicated by the letter Q, and the answer is indicated by letter A. So I'll read only the answer now. She said to me. So I have enlarged the place, the words and phrases where there is a difference. Okay. So in the whatever is there without whatever is there that is not given in the question, and they are part of the answer. So I have enlarged the words and certain words and phrases. Okay. She said to me, comma, and see, we are dealing with sentence here. So it goes without saying that punctuation marks are an essential part of any sentence. Okay. So when you think about a sentence, you are also supposed to think about what punctuation are there and where you put them, where you use them. So I'm reading even the punctuation here. She said to me, comma, in in inverted comma, when I heard that I had won the poetry recitation competition yesterday, comma, I jumped with joy, full stop, and inverted comma, closed. So the first one is indirect and the second one is direct. So for this question, your right answer should be the one given here. So you'll be given 4 options, and out of those 4 options, you have to choose the right answer. So in this case, the right answer is, she said to me, when I heard that, comma, in inverted comma, when I heard that I had won the poetry recitation competition yesterday, comma, I jumped with joy, full stop, and inverted comma, close. All right. So this is just to give you an idea of what kind of questions, okay, or the level of question you are practically expecting in this ATC examination. Okay. So this is the level we are going to achieve. You should be able to easily solve this level. This is rather a difficult or a tough question out of the many questions asked throughout the previous examinations. So I have taken a fairly difficult one, a tough one, so that you can assess yourself in the very beginning. Now let us see what is a direct and what actually we mean by direct and indirect speech. Okay. So first of all, these two speeches or these two types of sentences or types of speeches are two ways to report the words of a third party. So whenever you use this, you are reporting the words of a third party. Okay, so you are reporting something said by someone else. Okay, for example, we are here, I am here, and you are there, and I want to tell you something somebody else told me. I hope you follow me. So in that case, I can use either direct or indirect speech. All right. So whenever I use direct or indirect speech, the implication, the meaning implies that I am reporting someone else's words. Okay. So we have two types here. The first one is, of course, direct, and the second one is indirect. And in the direct one, what you do is give the exact words used by the speaker. Okay, so we are here, you and me are here, and we suppose we have a third person, somebody who is not a part of this meeting, and you want to say, like suppose I want to tell you the words given by that third person who is not present here. So third person, basically, when I speak, so it works in language like this way. Okay, so how many parties are here? You have to get an idea of this. So now, right now, you are there and I am here. So when I speak, I am the first person. And when you speak, you are the first person. Okay, so that is marked by I. So you say I. I means I am. So I am the first person when I speak. And since you are listening to my voice now, you are the second person. Okay, or the second party in the fashion of the sentence given here. You are the second party because you are the direct recipients of my words or direct receivers of my words here. So you are the second party, and there is a third party who are not the direct receivers of this particular class. Okay, so we have three parties or three persons in any language communication. Okay, not only in English, in any language you can see this. The person who is speaking is the first person, the person who is receiving or the person who is listening is the second person, and the person who is not available right now here or not here at the moment, that person is called the third person, or we can call a third party. Okay, so direct and indirect speech is used for reporting a third person's speech or words, sentences. So in direct sentences, in direct speech, you give the exact words used by the speaker. So there is no change. You are not making any change. And in indirect, you just give the substance of what is said. Okay, you are not repeating the exact words given by that third person, but you are changing, modifying it, and you are reporting. Indirect speech is also called reporting speech or reported speech. Okay, so you report the substance in the sense you report the idea, the very idea of what that person has already told you. I hope that is clear. This is just for the beginning. Okay, the very basic is described here. I hope you are following me. So let us move on to the next slide. Now I have a question for you. Please try to pick the right answer. This is also from one of the previous question papers of ATC. I said to him, in winter, I'm going to visit Cambodia with my family. So this is a direct sentence or direct speech. You are asked to find the correct indirect speech of the same sentence. So which one will you choose? Please have a look at the four options. You can read read them for yourself silently and decide which one is the correct one. I'll give you the right answer, but I'll give you a few seconds to see if you can identify the right answer. I'm not reading the answers because all of them are, more or less similar with slight changes. So if I read them aloud, you will be more confused, I guess. So you read it for yourself and decide which one is correct. So the question is, I said to him, in winter, I am going to visit Cambodia with my family. All right. So I hope you have seen all the options now. Shall we move forward? Which one is the correct one, by the way? Anybody want to answer?
First option.
First option.
Option 4.
Option 4.
Option number 4.
Option 4.
Okay. Yeah, that is too much noise. So please mute your mic. So first option and option number 4 have come here. So let us see which one is right. The right answer is the first option number 1. I told them that in winter I was going to visit Cambodia with my family. So here I am inviting your attention to also look at the can you see my mouse cursor, by the way? Can you see the cursor?
Yes, sir.
My mouse pointer? Okay. So I want you to also keep an eye or your attention to this word here, that. Okay. So this is a given. So in any reported speech, in any indirect speech sentence, you already have, or you have to use the word, this particular word, that is THAT, that. Okay. So in the direct speech, you won't see this word. I said to him, comma. So you remove the comma and you put that in the place of the comma. Okay. So there is no comma in indirect speech, and in that place of comma, you have to use that. Okay. So this is a given. This is everywhere in indirect speech. So that's a given. So let us see more examples. So this is from your previous ATC question paper. Now I would like to bring some simple examples so that we can see, we can deduct some rules. We can try to find out some rules applied here when turning a direct sentence into indirect sentence. All right. So here I have both the questions and answers ready. So I'll read one after another, and let us discuss. I'll discuss the changes happening here. All right. So we have Sheila, first sentence. Sheila said. So just a name, Sheila, an imaginary person. Sheila said, comma, within inverted comma, you have Rita sings daily. So you have full stop and you have the inverted comma closing. So remember, when you write direct sentence, you have to put a comma after said. The word said, you have to put a comma, and then whatever the person. That this means this part, Rita sings daily, is these words are spoken by the person mentioned here. So Sheila spoke these words. So the person reporting this is simply repeating the exact words spoken by Sheila. All right. Now let us see the indirect format of that. Sheila said that Rita sing daily. So remember the change. So this comma, Sheila said, same for both the type. And in the place of the comma here, you have this magical word that. Okay, so don't forget this word in indirect speech. Okay, in indirect speech, this word replaces the comma. All right, so you have to remember this always, and you remove the inverted comma because you are not repeating what Sheila said. Okay, you are producing, or you are only bringing the substance of what is being said. All right, so Sheila said, both are correct, both are same, and in the place of comma you have that, and you remove these markers. Okay, remove the inverted commas, and then Rita is same for both. Sings. Okay, SINGS became sang here. Okay, daily is same. Okay, daily, both in both places you have daily. So the only difference is you put a that here in the place of comma, you remove this markers, okay, these inverted commas, then Rita is saying sings became sang. Okay, let us come back to the rules of that, and let us see the next one. The manager said, comma, within inverted comma, you have Anil is working hard. So Anil is again an imaginary person, and the manager is also imaginary. Some manager is talking about one of his employees. That is the situation. So let us see the indirect speech. The manager said that Anil was working hard. So you can see there are no inverted commas in the reported, in the indirect speech sentence. Okay, so you cannot see that here, and you cannot see that here. So it is, and in the third example also you can see there are no inverted commas and even this comma. So this is a rule. You remove the punctuations, remove comma and inverted comma when you transform a direct sentence, when you convert a direct sentence into an indirect sentence. So this is a golden rule. You should always remember this first rule. This is the very first rule of converting direct into indirect, or vice versa. Okay, so in the examination you should expect both type of questions. Either you will be given direct sentence and asked to convert that into indirect speech, or you will be given an indirect speech and asked to convert that into direct speech. All right, so the manager said that. Let us see the indirect speech of the second one. The manager said that Anil was working hard. So the simple rule, the first rule is followed here, no comma, and in the place of comma you have that, then you remove the inverted comma, and Anil is becomes was. Okay, working hard. There are no change. Working hard here and working hard here, but the only difference is the is. The word is becoming was in the second type. Okay, so please remember these changes. We will see. I'll give you the rules behind that, but before that, let us see all the examples given here. Now the third one is, the teacher said students have done their homework. Okay. The teacher said, comma, within inverted comma, you have students have done their homework. Now, in the indirect format, you have the teacher said that students have becomes had. Okay. Have done becomes had done their homework, their homework. There are no changes. So the changes here are in the verb. Okay. So this little part of this sentence is called the verb. Sings becomes sang, is becomes was, and have done becomes had done. Other than that, only our golden rule is applied. No comma and no inverted comma. All right. So I'm moving forward. Now, next set of examples here. He said she came late. Okay. So comma is there, inverted comma is there, and the verb, this little part, is came. Okay. And the indirect speech equivalent, indirect speech of that is he said that she had come late. Okay. So he said that, no comma, no inverted comma. Instead of that, we have this word, the magical word that she repeated. Came becomes hard come. Okay. Hard come. She had come. Late is late. And full stop. Don't forget about the full stop. Okay. Full stop is really important. Sorry. Now the next one. She said, comma, in inverted comma, you have mom was cooking at 8 p.m. Now she said that mom had been cooking at 8 p.m. All right. So was cooking. So I'm not going to repeat comma and inverted comma now, because I believe you have already heard that enough, and you probably understood what I'm going to teach you here. So she said that mom had been. So was cooking is becoming had been cooking at 8 p.m. Cooking at 8 p.m. is same for both the sentences, and mom is same, she said is same. The only difference, only addition is the word that and had been. So was becomes had been. Okay. Now he said the boy may pass. Okay. He said the boy may pass, and in the indirect speech you can see he said that the boy might pass. So the only difference is may becomes might, and instead of comma and this inverted comma, you have the word that. All right. Now, shall I move on? Okay. So the next set, one more set I have. He said the boy can do the work. Okay, so this is direct. The first one is direct. He said the boy can do the work, and in the indirect speech you have he said that the boy could do the work. Okay, so the difference is can becomes could. And other than that, instead of this little part, you have this word that. Okay, so this is replaced by the word that. He said, no difference. The boy, no difference. And can becomes could. Okay, so other than that, and I'm sorry, this is not here, this is just a typing error. So this part, you forget about this. Now the teacher said the student shall try to pass. Okay, now who is speaking here? The teacher. And what is the teacher saying? The student shall try to pass. Okay. Now here the difference, so there are no difference here. Said is okay, and this part is replaced by the word that. The student shall becomes should. Okay. So here can became could, and here shall became should. Try to pass, no difference. And finally a full stop. Now the teacher said the student will pass. Okay. The last example on this page, the student will pass. So you can see the difference in the indirect speech. The teacher said, there is no comma, and there is no inverted comma. Instead of that, you have this word that. Then the student, no difference. Will becomes would. Pass, no change. So what are the changes you can see here? Can becomes could. Shall becomes should. Other than this that. Okay. Other than this part, the changes are can becoming could, shall becoming should, and will becoming would. All right. So let's move on. Now there are no changes here. I'll read two sentences. The first one is direct and the second one is indirect. Mom said, comma, within inverted comma, Earth moves round its axis. Okay. Mom said that Earth moves round its axis. Okay. So if you go back, sings. So you just have a look at this page before I change this. And can anyone guess why there are no changes? Okay. Earlier, as per our example, I'll quickly show you that. See here, Rita sings daily. Okay, this is from the first slide of examples. Rita sings daily. Okay, Rita sings daily, and it became Rita sang daily. The format has been changed. Sings became sang. And in this example, the last example, you have moves. Okay, so the same pattern. Sings, moves. There are no changes. I mean, both of these are following the same pattern. And in the indirect sentence, you don't change the word moves. It doesn't become moved. Why? Can somebody guess very quickly?
Because it is
Because
a
it's happening even now. It's a proven
It is a
fact.
universal truth, so it cannot be changed.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a universal truth, okay, or a general habit. So in these cases, whether either in a universal truth or in the case of a general habit, I wake up in the morning. That's a general habit. Okay. So in those cases, or when you are talking about the sun rises in the east. Okay. So let's say, for example, I said the sun rises in the where does the sun rise? East. Yeah, the sun rises in the east. So when you turn that into indirect sentence, you are not supposed to, or you are not going to change the verb of that sentence, because that is a universal truth. Okay, so universal truth is always talked about in simple present. So simple present is, this particular part is called a simple verb. Okay, simple present verb. Move, moves. Okay, Earth moves. So here you have to keep that. You have to you don't have to change anything here, and there are no changes other than our golden rule. So remember, this rule is applicable to all sorts of indirect sentence. The rule is remove the comma, remove the inverted commas. That is the only golden rule here, and other rules may change, and this is a great example where nothing else is changed. Earth moves around its axis, and in the indirect sentence you can see exactly the same words repeated, and this is a correct this is a grammatically perfect sentence. Okay, indirect sentence. All right, so now I would like to, just a moment, please. Now, I'm going back to this example here. Now, please make a note of what I'm going to say now. The first sentence here is the tense of this. So in order to effectively and, in order to efficiently, correctly convert direct into indirect speeches, you need to have you have to know a little bit about the very basic of English grammar, and I'm going to share that with you now. Sheila said Rita sings daily. So Sheila said is a part of the direct speech sentence. Now let us focus on the second part. Rita sings daily is an example of simple present tense. Okay, so we have 3 times in English: present, past, and future. Okay, in English grammar, you are going to talk about anything you may talk about belongs to 3 of these, any 3 of these times. Either you will speak about the present, or you will speak about the past, or you will speak about the future. There are no 4th time. Okay, 4th dimension is not, fortunately or unfortunately, we are unable to find a 4th dimension as far as language is concerned. Okay, so we have only 3 times available, past, present, and future. So we begin from present, and in present, within each of these three, we have four further subdivisions. The first example here, Rita sings daily, here is an example of simple present. Okay, so simple present is turned into, so in the indirect speech, we have Sheila said that. Okay, so that much part is part of indirect sentence. So we are leaving it aside. We don't have to further divide that and study what is there, because it is repeated in almost all the indirect sentences. So you don't have to know the rule. Sheila said that part is okay. Now focus on the final three words. Rita sang daily. Okay, so Rita sings daily is simple present. So the parts of simple present are Rita is the subject, sings is the verb, and daily is the object. And the peculiarity of this verb sings is that verb is called V1. We have a technical name given for that, that is V1 or verb 1. Okay, the base form of the verb sings. Okay, sing plus yes, sings. Now that became sang. Okay, so sing, sang, sung. We have three forms of the same word here. So sing becomes sang, and that is called verb 2, and verb 2 is actually simple past. Okay, so V1 is simple present, V2 is simple past. All right, is that clear? So what is the change here? What is the rule applied here? Simple present is converted into simple past. So you have to change the verb. V1 is changed into V2. Okay, so simple past, simple present to simple past. Now see the next one. Anil is working hard. That is present continuous, because it is still going. Is working, ing. Okay, so whenever you see ing with the verb, you understand, you have to understand that the action is still going on. So Anil is working hard. Okay, so is working hard is becoming was working hard. Okay, so here the change is, the shift is happening between present continuous and past continuous. By the way, is the base form or V1, and the past V2 of is was. Okay, is it too complicated, or are you able to follow me? Anil is working hard and Anil was working hard. So the change happening here is, it is shift. The shift is from present continuous to past continuous. So that is the second type of change. Now students have done their homework. Okay, I hope you are all following me. You are all staying with me. Students have done their homework. Students had done their homework. So here you have a perfect. Okay, present perfect. That means have done. That means the action is just completed. Now you have had done. So have becomes had. Okay, have is changed into had. Have had. All right. So the change here is present perfect to past perfect. So present perfect is subject, have or has, V3. So done is V3. Do, did, done. Okay. So done is the third form of the verb do, and V3 is usually used for perfect tense. Perfect tense means when the action is completed. Okay, when the action is completed. So done their homework, have done their homework becomes had done their homework. Is that clear? So have becomes had. There are no other changes here. Okay. So next one, she came late. So what is the format of this sentence? She is the subject, came is V2, and late is object. So this kind of sentences fall into a category called simple past. Okay, because come, came, come. You have three forms of the word come, verb come. Come is base form V1. Came is the second form, that is V2. So V2 becomes, just now, just a few minutes ago, I told you V2 is simple past. V1 is simple present. V2 is simple past. Okay. So here the change is she came late. She came late is turned into she had come late. So had come is again past perfect. Okay. So she had come. Came. V2 is changed into had plus V1. Okay. So if you understand it that way. And now was cooking. Okay. Was cooking came earlier. Okay. Was in the previous slide, you can see Anil was working in the second example. Anil was working hard. Now here you can see was cooking, the same idea. And now when that comes as direct sentence, okay, here you can see Anil was working. This is indirect of Anil is working. And when was working itself comes as direct sentence, you have was cooking becomes had been cooking. So you can note this down actually. Was cooking becomes had been cooking. Okay, there are no other changes. Now the boy may pass, it becomes the boy might pass. Okay, may becomes might. Now the boy can do the work. Now the boy can becomes could. There are no other changes. Can is turned into could. Now shall, the student shall try to pass. Shall becomes should. And now the student will pass. Will becomes would. Okay. All right. So this is the these are the simple rules of direct and indirect sentences. Now I want you to write some sentences. I'll give you some sentences to practice right away. So please tell me if you have the, so with this I stop my sharing. Now we can see, you can see my face again. Okay, I think I'm here. My video. Okay, so I have a question. So you can write the question. You can take the question, or I will. Where are the? There is the chat box. Vinna. Sorry.
Sir, I
Okay,
have a
now,
doubt.
yeah, please.
Sir, if we are using a word like tomorrow or yesterday in like indirect speech, so what will be the like indirect speech? It will be like changed to next day and the previous day
Yes, yes,
when
exactly. So yeah, what
the
is that?
speech is
Is that the
reported the
doubt?
same day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So in
if we
direct
have
speech, yeah, please continue. Hello.
yes, sir, I'm
Go on.
listening.
Radhika Sood. Yeah. So did you get your answer? So yesterday becomes the previous day, and tomorrow becomes the next day. Okay. So in direct speech, you have yesterday. If the word yesterday is there, you in indirect speech you have to say the previous day because you are reporting. Okay. When I'm saying now,
Like even if the
yesterday
speech
is.
is reported the same day at that time also.
No, that is wrong to report that way, because when I speak here, yesterday means yesterday. Okay, the day. I mean, today is what day is it? Friday, and yesterday is Thursday. Okay, yesterday was Thursday, and when you report this thing to someone else, maybe the day has changed. Okay, so yesterday doesn't stand the same for every day. So when you report, when someone else is reporting my words, the day might have, day had probably the day has changed, and you can see yesterday becomes the previous day. Okay, so the previous day from the time when I speak. Okay, so I'm speaking on Friday. So when you report this on Saturday or on Sunday, you say the previous day. That becomes that makes my yesterday and your previous day the same day. Okay, so yesterday is the previous day and tomorrow is the next day. Okay, so tomorrow. Suppose I say I'm going to buy a car tomorrow. Okay, I am going to buy a car tomorrow. So when you report this to someone, maybe you are reporting this after 1 month. Okay, suppose let us imagine. So you cannot say tomorrow again there, because that my tomorrow, that is Saturday, the tomorrow, the actual tomorrow is gone. Okay, so when you report that to someone else, you have to use the word next day. Okay, the next day.
And
So
sir, if
I'll
I'm
give you
reporting it on the same day when you told me, then it will be tomorrow only.
no, you still you use the next day, because tomorrow, tomorrow could be any day or any time. So your listener, if your listener has to understand exactly, you have to say the next day. So I am saying this today and you are reporting this today, still you should use the next day, the word next day. All right. So that is for
Thank you.
grammatical correctness. So in the examination, all we are focused on, the only thing we are focusing on is the grammatical acceptability or the grammatical correctness. So when you in casual conversation, you can say tomorrow, no problem. In oral communication, when you're talking to your friends, when you're talking to your parents, or when you're talking to your family, you can say tomorrow as tomorrow when you are reporting. But in writing, and especially for this examination purpose, you have to remember tomorrow is the next day. Okay. So in informal context, these are okay. Like you can use language as you wish to use. Right. So now let us see. I'll give you some examples. So I'm also typing the example, typing as I'm speaking, reading them. She said, sun rises in the east. So she said, sun rises in the east. What can be the indirect sentence to that? Can everyone see my text? I have just put a sentence here, put a direct speech here, sentence here. So I hope you can see. Yeah. So please type your answers very quickly. Shruti, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So all of you are getting the right answer as far as I can see. She said that sun rises in the east. There is no change to the word rises. That is, this particular case is an instance of universal truth. It does not change. The sun rises every day. The sun rises in the east. There is no change happening. Okay, so this is a habit, or this is a universal truth. So you don't have to make any change there. So for the examination, you have to be careful. You read the sentence, and if the sentence is talking about a universal fact, universal truth, you simply keep the same sentence, same pattern in your indirect sense, indirect speech. Okay, so you got whoever said, she said that sun rises in the east with a full stop, get a gets your full mark for this question. Now the next one, don't forget the full stop. Okay, full stop. Sita, father said, Sita goes home in the evening. Father said, Sita goes home in the evening. So very quickly, please convert this into indirect sentence, indirect speech. Nobody? Are we here? So let me read a few answers. Father said that Sita went home in the evening. So father said that Sita went home in the evening. Okay, so what is the change happening here? Goes home. So the word goes should become V2. So this is in the verb. This is in the basic format. That is V1 goes. So you have to change this into V2. That is go, went, gone. So went. So whoever said, father said that Sita went home in the evening, full stop, gets a full mark. Okay, father said that Sita went home in the evening, and you have to put a full stop. So congratulations to all the people who wrote the right answer. So the right answer should look like this. I'm typing. Father said that Sita went home in the evening. So this is the right answer. Your answer should look like this. So the option you pick should look like this. Okay, and also remember, when you write the first letter of every sentence should be capital, in capital letters, and also the first letter of every name, every person's name, every place names, every city's name. Okay, whatever names your proper name you are using, the first letter should be in the capital. So for this examination, you don't have to do that because you only pick the right answer from the given options. But as you go progress in your career, please understand very important writing manner. And if you don't do this, you will be considered, okay, this is a silly mistake. And in language, if you make silly mistakes, everybody is going to judge you very harshly. So please keep an eye on this. The first letter of every sentence should be in capital, and the first letter of all the names you are using. You can say India with a capital I, you can say America with a capital A, or you can say Ganga, a river in India, with a capital G, or any place, Indore, Delhi, okay, any place, or Sita, or any place, any person's name, everything should be, the first letter should be capitalized, all right, or used in capital. Now, the next one, the manager said, I am reading this before I am writing so that you can keep, your typing your answers. The manager said, employees are working hard. Manager said that employees were working hard. Okay, so manager said that the employees were working hard. So I'll give a few seconds so that all of you, most of you, can participate. The manager said that the employees were working hard. Okay, so I think that's enough time. So whoever wrote, please see the question carefully before you pick your answer. The manager. So it's not just a manager. You don't have to remove a word like the from the question. The manager said that the employees were working hard, full stop. So employees are working becomes employees were working. So the right answer is, okay, I see some changes. I see some different answers here. Tigmanshu, manager said that employees had been working hard. Okay, so it's too early to put had been in use. So we'll stick with the basics. We'll stick with the simple rules now. So the right answer is the manager said that employees were working hard. Okay, so the manager said that employees are working becomes were working. So simple, present continuous into past continuous. Okay, now next one. The doctor said the patient will recover. The doctor said the patient will recover. Okay, so I'm interested in the wrong answers now, because wrong answers will lead you to the right ones. So I'll read only the wrong ones. Okay, I cannot see. I cannot keep up with the number of chats pouring in. Yeah, the doctor said that the patient. Where is it going? Had been recovered. Somebody wrote the doctor said that the patient had been recovered. As I told you, it is too early for us to put had been in use. Okay, so we are just reaching there. Had been is coming, of course, it's on the way. But for the time being, what we do is we are only sticking to the basics, and the basics here is will turns into would. Okay, so in the direct sentence, you have will, and when you make the indirect sentence, indirect speech, you turn that will into would. So the right answer should be the doctor said that the patient would recover. No other changes are needed. Okay, so the doctor said that the patient would recover with full stop. Okay, so I'm very happy. Most all of you are, most of you have started putting full stop after the sentence. So that's a very good thing. The doctor said that the patient would recover. So that is the thing. The next one. I said I shall try to help her. Okay. I said I shall try to help her. Come on. Okay. I said I should try to help her. So the right answer here is I said that I should try to help her. Okay. So I said that I should try to help her. That is the right answer. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll read the thing instead of typing. I'll only give you the right answer. Harish said Mohan has passed the test. Harish said Mohan has passed the test. Should I write? Don't worry about the names. Okay, these are just imaginary names. You can say any name here. Harish said Mohan has passed the test. So very good. Harish said that Mohan had passed the test. All right. So the right answer is, all of you got the right answer here, I think. Harish said that Mohan had passed the test. Okay. So has becomes had. Simple transformation. Has is now had in the indirect speech. Now, next one. He said all were laughing and singing at the teacher. Yeah. So put the right answers here. Okay, excellent, excellent. So he said that all had been laughing and singing at the teacher. Okay. He said that all had been laughing and singing at the teacher. Right. So the right answer is he said that all had been laughing and singing at the teacher. So full stop is missing. I'm sorry. Now, different one. John said, I am busy. Come on. John said, I am busy. Okay. John said that he was busy. Okay. So somebody typed here. Okay. So the right answer is John said that he was busy. Okay. Said that he was busy. Okay. So this is the right answer. Right now I put the right answer here. And if you wonder why John said that I was busy. Okay. So this is the wrong answer, but I am trying to explain that. Said that I was busy. So the second sentence I put here is a wrong sentence, because why you cannot say I here? Okay. In the direct sentence, in the direct speech, you see I was busy. Okay. So here you change that into he. Okay. So John, obviously with your common sense, you imagine John is a man. So you have to put a pronoun. Okay. So what is a pronoun? A pronoun is he is for men, she for women, then non-animate things are it, or a lot of people are they, or a lot of people together, like we. Okay. So we is another pronoun. Okay. We, a lot of people, but from first person. And now see, there are a lot of pronouns coming up, but we don't know how to use them and where to use them. Obviously, you have heard, some of you at least have heard about transgender rights and simply gender rights. So people are arguing out there for gender equality in language, but for the time being, we call a man he, a woman she, and a non-animate thing it. Okay. And if you have a puppy or something, like if you are a pet lover, you can call, there have been animal activists, animal lovers coming up with the idea that Animals should not be should not be addressed as it, because they are living creatures, living organisms. So according to your convenience, you can call your puppy or your pet, whatever pet you are taking care of. According to the gender, he or she can be applied. All right, so this is just for your general information. So for the time being, until the gender rights or equal rights people succeed in bringing a change in the language, we use he for men and she for women. And there is a third gender called transgender, the people who are neither men nor women. And they say there are some 33 genders or 33 pronouns you can use instead of he and she, but we are still too complicated for a language student, and let us wait. I wholeheartedly hope they succeed one day and bring a change in the language, in the way we use the language. But until then, we stick to the traditional words that are he, she, and it. So I have a question here. What do we use for baby? So if it's a baby boy, you use he. A baby girl, you can use a baby. Baby girl, you can use she. Okay, so there are no. What about presenti? What is presenti? I don't understand. Omkar Londe. What about presenti? What is presenti? I'm not able to understand. Could you please explain what is? What do you mean by this question? Okay, so now we are talking about the changes in pronoun. So these things are called pronoun. Okay, so when I speak, I am I. Okay, I am, this person here is I when I speak. But when you speak about me, then I am not, I am anymore I. Okay, you can say he. Understand? And if the person is a woman or a girl, you can say she. Okay, for that person, she or he would be I. Okay, so this is a little tricky here. Let us see the person. We talked about the parties, third party in the beginning. So let us see the first person. Okay, so here we are having a conversation. We are having a face-to-face conversation. Let us assume. And when I speak, from my point of view, the first the first person is, when I am speaking, the first person is I. Okay, and from your point of view as well. So when I speak, the first person is I, because you are listening to me. Okay, so I am the person who is speaking is called I. Okay, that is the first person. So you have to get this correct. First person is I, or if we are a group of people, if I have some 10 people along with me here, becomes we. Okay, so if we are how many people? 62 people here. If I'm speaking on behalf of all these 62 people, then I am not alone. I am, a plural. So I becomes we. All right. So this is the first person. And the second person is always who is listening to me. Okay. Who is listening to me? You are listening to me. So the second person is always the listener or the receiver. So that person is you. Okay, you alone, and you in thousands of numbers. You can be 138 crore people. Still, you are you. Okay, so there is no difference between single and multiple you. Okay, so according to the context, you understand. I can address one person as you. I can talk to one person and call him or her you, and I could be talking to 100 crore people and still call them you. All right. So you is a universal second person. Now the third person is he. Okay, he or she or it. Okay, so this is third person when the third person is only one person, single. Okay, third person single or third person singular. Okay, when the third person is only one unit. Okay, I don't know how I mean, this is a weird way of talking about human beings, but yeah, for the use of driving home the point, if you're talking to about one unit of a person, then that must be he or she. Okay, or you can talk about another thing. For example, I have a mouse here. This is a single mouse. What do you call it? You call it, anyway, it came. This is it. Okay, and when there are multiple third person, okay, multiple third person, or a group of third person, he or she, it becomes they. Okay, they. All right, so this is okay. Now let me give you more examples. Okay, one example here, according to the rule of pronouns, change of pronouns. Let us see if you can get the answer for this. I am busy. Oh, sorry. That's a. I said I am busy. I said I am busy. Yeah. I want to make. I said I am busy. How do you report this? He said that he was busy. I have one answer here, two answer here. So any other different answer? He said that he was busy. Anything else? He said that he was busy. I got it. But do we have any? Yeah, different answer. I said that I am busy. Yeah. He said that he was busy. Yes. So we got Rincy Philip or Rins Philip. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I said that I was busy. So the right answer is he should not come, because what is the direct speech sentence here? I said I was busy. Okay. So we don't have a different person. Okay. Who is reporting? Who told the exact thing? So the direct speech is spoken by me, because I said I was busy. Okay, or I am busy. So that is the direct speech. And who is reporting? Because we don't know any other person here. Okay, the sentence is only talking about one person, that is I, and probably I should report this to someone else. Okay, so I told you, I said I am busy. I told you, I told you I am busy. Okay, so when I go out and I want to report what I told you to a friend, how should I report this? The correct answer should be, I said that I was busy. All right, so that is the right answer. So when there is no second person or third person to report what the first person has said, the first person himself or herself reports her own words. So there is no change of the pronoun. Okay, now let us see one more example. James said to Priya, you have not done your duty. See, I'm living in Kerala. I'm Dr. Shamsir, by the way. We didn't have a proper introduction. I'm Dr. Shamsir, and I'm living in Kerala. So the book I am referring to is printed in Kerala. This is, from a university in Kerala. So the names you see, the words like Mohan, James, Priya. So all these names are probably, names normally seen in Kerala. So those who are from outside of the state, please bear with me, bear with these names, because don't feel bad about seeing unfamiliar names continuously in the examples. You can put any names instead of these names. All right. So James said to Priya that she had not done her duty. So James said that Priya had not done her duty. Wait, I'm getting confused here. So the sentence is, James said to Priya, you have not done your duty. So the indirect sentence is, So you have written so many sentences here. I'm not going to read them, but I'm going to give you the right answer. You can check yourself. You can assess yourself whether you got the right answer. The right answer should be James told Priya that she had not done her duty. So this is the right answer. Now there is a small change happening here. So if you can detect the change, it's a great it's a great thing. Yeah, said to told. Said is becoming told. So why is that happening? Because you have a person who is being said to. Okay, so we have in this example James and Priya. Okay, so two people are here. So when you say something without a receiver, without a particular audience, that is called a said only. Okay, so you can say said. So in the previous examples, you can see she said sun rises in the east. Okay, in one of our earlier examples, she said the sun rises in the east. And who is the receiver here? Who did she speak to? We don't know. Okay, from the sentence, there is no receiver. So in that case, you can say said itself. And when there is a receiver, okay, in this sentence, in the last sentence, in the final sentence here, you have James speaking to Priya. Okay, so when the receiver is present in the sentence, when the audience is present given in the sentence, you use told instead of said to. Said to, okay, said to doesn't have a particular audience. Okay, told has a particular listener. All right, so that is the difference here. Said to is turning into told because we have a particular listener in the sentence. So the right answer is James told Priya that. So after there are no other changes. Okay, so you replace the comma, then you put that there. James told Priya that she had not done her duty. Okay, so she had not done her duty. So you have become. So you have to also see the change in the pronoun. So you have became she had. Okay, so who is you here? James is speaking to a particular person. So for James, Priya is you. Okay, because Priya and James are probably standing face to face, or they are on a telephone, or they are chatting, whatever. So this is a direct communication between these two people. So when you report this to a third person, report to this to a different person, then Priya is not anymore you. Okay, she now I am reporting this sentence, this statement to my mother, for example. Okay, my mother is downstairs. So if I want to say that James and Priya were talking this, so I should say James becomes a he and Priya becomes she, because the first person is, now when I talk, the first person is me, and when my mother listens to me, the second person is my mother, not James and Priya. Okay, so James and Priya assume third party position, and for them we have the pronoun he and she. So in this case, Priya becomes she. All right. Now another thing. He said to me, please make the indirect speech here. He said to me, you are beautiful. Come on. Okay, I left final. He said to me, you are beautiful. Okay. Okay, so right answer has already come here. and there are also some wrong answers. So I'll wait for a few seconds so that all the people. Voice problem? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What is happening? Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we got enough responses. I wish all the people who want to respond have done so. So what is the right answer? What should be the right answer? What is the right answer? He said to me should become told me. Okay, said to be should become told me, because the object, the receiving person is given, is provided in this. Somebody's mic is on. Please mute yourself so that you can. Yeah. So he told me that I am beautiful or I was beautiful. Which one should be the right answer? Okay. So the right answer is he told me that I was beautiful. So what did he say in the first place? He said, you are beautiful. This is the word. These are the words spoken by him. But who is listening? I am listening, because he told me. Okay, he told that to me. Okay, so when I report that you, the second person, is turning into the first person, and the first person is I. Okay, so I was beautiful. And what does it mean? I was beautiful yesterday and I am not beautiful today. It doesn't mean that. It means, according to his words, when at the moment he was speaking, I was beautiful. Okay, maybe something happened after that and I'm no more beautiful. That doesn't matter. But for the grammatical correction, grammatical efficiency, we are only worried about the correct use of words. And I am become, you are become, I was. All right. So you are is turned into I was. All right. So I hope you get it. Okay. Yeah.
Screen share
No, actually, I'm not sharing my screen now. I'm talking. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm talking directly, and we are actually seeing the. We are on the chat box. Actually, the questions and answers are given in the chat box.
Okay, fine. Okay.
And they are responding. Like, it's perfect, I think. Okay. Now, you have is, I have a question here. You have is she had. Why not she has? All right. Okay. So the rule for that is you have is in the present form, and have should, see, when you turn direct into indirect, all the present things should go into past. Okay. Because the direct speech is already over. That has happened. Okay. Now, after a point of time, after a certain time, you are reporting this to a different person. So that means the present forms, the present words used there, in the words used in the present format, all should become in the, you have to turn them into past tense, and have becomes in the past had. Okay, so have is the V1 of had. Had is V2. All right. So that is the answer. This is a private message, I think. So you cannot see that. So one student asked me, you have is becoming she had, and why not she has? Because if it is she has, we are still in the present. So we have to find the past of has and have had. And by the way, has and have are turned into one form had, okay, in the V2. All right. Now, one more example. Our time is running. We are running out of time. So before that, I try to give you more examples. He said to her, "You are beautiful." Come on, guys, quickly. We don't have much time left, so please make it fast. I'm going to wait only for a few seconds. Okay. Earlier, I was beautiful. Now she is beautiful. Yeah. What is the difference? A lot of answers. Yeah. Super. So the right answer should be he. Yeah. So the right answer is, I think all of you have got the right answer. He told her that she was beautiful. Okay. So now let us. I'll give you some ready-made changes you can use. So if you want to write this down, you can write this down or take a screenshot or something. Changes. So the changes in, so the right in the first I am giving you a list of words. On the which side it is, right or left? Okay, the first line, the first row, you see direct words used in direct speech, and next to them on the other side you see their converted form in the indirect speech. Okay, so now becomes then here becomes there. So these are the words you have to ready. These are ready-made words. You don't have to think anything when you find these words. These becomes those. Tomorrow becomes the next day. Yesterday becomes the previous day. Last day becomes the previous day. Okay. Ago becomes before. So you can take this down. So today, what is today changing into that day? Okay, so that day. Now these are some of the important ones. So next week is turned into the following week. So these are some of the major words you have to change. So on the first the first words are now, here, this, these, tomorrow, yesterday, last day, ago, today, next week, etc. are words used in direct speech, and when they appear in direct speech you have to use the words written against them. Now becomes then, here becomes there, and this becomes that, this becomes those, so on and so forth. Okay. Now I'm giving you an example based on this. He said, I am busy now. Okay. How will you change this? He said, I'm busy now. He said he was busy then. Right answer. So we have got two people here. Now becomes then. Then I am becomes I was. Okay. So now one more example. I'm not discussing the answer now. You got the right answer. The right answer is he said that he was busy then, and there should be a full stop. So please take care of the full stop. And one more thing. I said I will go today. So what should be the indirect speech? of I said I will go today. I said that I would go that day. So we have Aditya Salbi, Adiba Khanam, Fatima, Omkar Londe, Misbah Haram, Radhika Sood, Gopika Sugumaran. So all of you got the right answer. So I said that I would go that day. So with this, there are more exercises actually. So I'll make I'll make it available to you, at least some 50 questions, so that you can practice with these examples, exercises. I would like to stop this class for today's class here, and let us hopefully meet in the coming classes, and let us learn everything that is there to learn from this ATC question paper, and let us also discuss all the questions asked in all the previous years available question papers, and let us hope we all get not me, all of you get this job, and you build a career and you become great at your work. So thank you very much for coming. I'm very honored. I'm very happy to have talked to you all this time. And one question is here before we log off. Sir, what about present D? So this question was there in the beginning as well. Omkar Londe, please, I am not able to understand what is present D. Okay, so please explain it a little bit so that I can answer. Otherwise, I am unable to catch what you are trying to tell me. Or you can unmute yourself and ask me what is this. Okay, present D. I'm not sure I understand the word present D. So Omkar Londe, if you are still there, please unmute yourself, and you can talk to me. Because I'm unable to. I'm sorry,
Hello?
I'm unable. Yeah.
सर प्रेजेंट ही
still-
नहीं हुई सर, प्रेजेंट ही हुई है क्या? वो मैंने थोड़ा लेट ज्वाइन किया था सर.
Present. Okay, you are asking about attendance.
Attendance,
Shamsir,
हाँ,
I think
sorry, attendance,
he's
हाँ, sir.
asking about the presentation, the PPT presentation. He was late
PPT?
and he.
Attendance,
Okay.
attendance.
Attendance. Omkar, you are asking about the attendance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How do we take the attendance?
सर मैं थोड़ा लेट ज्वाइन हुआ था इसलिए सर पूछ रहा हूँ.
Yeah, it's okay, Omkar. No problem. We are noting down the people who are joining. It's okay.
Okay.
Omkar, आपका नाम ले लिया है, लिख दिया है, so don't worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
ठीक है. Okay, so one more question is here. Please do tell us why other options are wrong. So I think you are talking about the first from the presentation. So I'll explain that. So he is asking here. Let me see. Yes, sir. Sharon. Yeah. So Sharon, please see. We are going back to that slide again. I think you can see my screen now. Why only the first one was, so was it here?
Yes,
Fourth
sir.
one. Okay, so I told them that in winter I was going to visit Cambodia with my family. See the question here, you can see the question. I said to him. So later we discussed said to him. So when you have an object, the person you are talking to, you can remove said to and replace that with told. Okay, so I told them. Okay, so them, maybe this is also from the question paper, so it could be him also, but unfortunately it is given them in the question, so I don't have an option there, so it should be him. But in the question, all the answers repeatedly show them, so I have kept that. I told them. Said to becomes told. Then in winter, you remove all these things and put that here. And in winter, I am becomes was. Okay, I was going to visit Cambodia with my family. There is no difference from here. Okay, going to visit Cambodia with my family. This part is same. Okay, for all the answers, and only this is changing. I was. Okay, so am is V1 and was is the V2 of am. Okay, I am, I was. I am means right now, presently I am going to visit Cambodia, and when you turn that into was, it goes into past. It is V2, and this is present continuous. I am going, and past it should be turned. It should be converted into past continuous. That is I was going. And you look at here. This is I am. Same thing is repeating. So this is not possible. I am going to visit. This is not a universal truth or something. So that you have to you don't have to change it. But this is simple. It's a present continuous sentence, and it should be converted into past continuous sentence, and this one here is the past continuous format. I was going. I am going is the same thing, and he was going. Okay, he was, I told you, like who is reporting here? I. Okay, the same person is reporting, so there is no chance for he, and he was going, so that is wrong. Then I would be going. We did not talk about would be going. Okay, so would be going is too complicated for I am going. So I am going is present continuous, and you need past continuous here to be to get the correct answer. So this one is only the correct answer. Is that okay?
Some doubt, sir.
What?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yes, in the question, it's given in the winter, I am going to visit Cambodia. So it is the question, I mean that it is something that is going to happen in future, right?
Yeah. So this here you see, I am going to visit Cambodia, but the format here, this is present continuous. Okay, I am going.
Even though it's given in the present continuous format, it is something that is going to happen in future.
Happen in the future. Yeah, very well.
So
you say I would be going is the right one.
Yeah.
Okay, so for that you need to have will here. Okay, I will going to Cambodia, visit Cambodia with my family, would turn into I would be going to visit Cambodia. Okay, so since we are here, I am going to visit, you can stick with this answer. This will be the right option for you. Okay, I am going, I was going.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Okay. So yes, so thank you very much. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Shamsir?
Yeah.
Dr. Shamsir, thank you so much. It was a very good presentation, highly interactive.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. So
Yeah.
can I stop the recording now?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So shall I only press end? It will be recorded.
Maybe you can, it's okay. You can leave it as it is. I will just take a couple of minutes to the participants to give some announcements. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm not ending this recording. Okay. You please do it from your side.
Yeah, it's okay. So thank you all for being here. And I think we have at least more than 60 candidates till the end. And many of you have already paid the fees as well. Thank you so much for that. And some of you are still left for paying the fee. So I request all of you to pay before tomorrow 1 p.m. because as promised, we have given you 2 free classes and also 1 introductory session in the first day. So now I think it is very clear to you how things will be going and how the classes will be going on. So hopefully you are able to make a decision also. And I hope that you all will be on board tomorrow evening 7 p.m. So I request all of you, those who did not pay, to pay before 1 p.m. tomorrow so that we will be sending the links to those paid candidates after 1 p.m. And one more important thing is that we are sharing you the link for the last 2 days. We are sharing the links through WhatsApp and SMS and also through emails. So you might have received it in any one of these modes. But we are planning to restrict it to only email so that it is convenient for us. So if any one of you did not receive emails from us so far, please send us your email IDs and let us know. And make sure that you are getting our mails on time. And for those people who have paid the fees, we already shared the yesterday's lecture notes, the PDF files. And those who didn't pay, we'll be sharing it with them also after they make the payment. And for today also, Dr. Shamir, could we share these PPTs with them? Hello, Dr. Shamsir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. We can we can share this PPT, no issue.
Okay, thank you. So for those candidates who, after making the payment, we will be sharing the PPTs of this class too. So for all the classes, we will be doing this. We will be sharing the PPTs and the PDFs, which is available after the class. And also you'll be getting practice problem solving materials in the coming days. So
sorry to interrupt you. Will we
excuse
not,
me?
will we not get the recording link? Only PDFs and PPTs will be shared?
You will get the recording links only after request. It is like if you miss one session, you can request us for that recording that we will provide. So why we are not giving recording every day is I think it will discourage you to attend the classes. See, nobody will be following the recordings.
If we want for a particular session, we'll get it, right?
Yeah, yes, you will definitely get it. Because if you are giving recording every day, I think nobody will follow the classes. It will be a loss for both of us. So we will encourage everyone to attend all the live sessions correctly. And because of some genuine reason, if you miss some classes, we will be with the recordings. So that's it. And tomorrow you will be having physics classes by Dr. Rashid TP at 7 p.m. So I hope all of you will be on board tomorrow 7 p.m. That's it. So please make the payment. And if any one of you did not get the details for the payment, please contact us back. And also the email ID. If you are not getting our emails, please send us your email IDs. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. So Shamsir?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can end the session. We can just.
Yeah. So I will stop the recording, or should I simply exit the session?
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, for contacting you, sir, do we contact the same number from which we got the WhatsApp message for the payment information?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can contact the same number.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Shamsir, you can just end it. It's okay. Maybe you can stop the recording and then you can end it.